Whoops. Hey there, friendlies. It is May the 29th, I think. Let me double check. May 29th. Welcome to the latest edition of the Beer, Blades, and Bushcraft live stream. I'm not even remotely set up here. This day has not gone the way I had anticipated. But I am greatly optimistic in the abilities of myself and my friends on the Tube of Views to salvage what we can. I got me a beer, which we will talk about in a few minutes. Oh, this is what the hell? There you go. Oh. So, how's it going, guys? Who we got here? Outdoor. Serge, hey man. And there's LT. Oh. Sorry, guys. I'm just... It's been a day. It really has been a day. Hey, Outdoor, you see that video I did for you about the about lighting the Amadou? Pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool doing it. You know, never done that before. Click, worked, made me happy to be alive. Let's bring this a little closer because I look like I'm about 2 feet tall when I'm that far away. So what do we got? Serge has a Rickards Dark. Nice. LT, what do you got tonight? What you drinking, man? I'm drinking a lot of water. Well, I'm bushed, guys. I was just moving a lot of paving stones around in my backyard. We have a drainage problem. There's a guy coming to fix it tomorrow, but we have a lot of stones in our backyard, and I had to move them all. Let me see. Let's just make sure I don't lose track. No, I'm not going to light anything on fire tonight. Except the channel. I'm going to be rocking it. Chang Thailand Lager Beer. Okay, LT. Nice. Shall we open our beverages? Shall we open our bevies? You know, I don't know. Oh, I moved a lot of stuff around tonight. And then this weekend, hopefully, I'm going to finally build that fence that I've been talking. Hey, Tyler's here. What's up, man? Before I go drinking. So, what is this called tonight? McCrocken flower. McCrocken flower. It's a Scotch ale brewed with honey. It is the Flemings who first developed this type of beer for the Scots. Wildflower honey is the key ingredient to this recipe. Smooth and complex, rich and generous. This beer has old port-like aromatics and intense caramel aromas. I will let you know. Oh, it's by the Bilboquet microbrassery. McCrocken. Oh crap, we're backwards because I'm using that app again. Sorry, folkies. 500 mils, which is 0.9 fluid ounces. Ooh, wow, it's a 10.8%. Okay. All right. Is that how it's going to be? I guess that's how it's going to be. Very tasty. I detect the caramel. I really detect the honey. The alcohol, they almost overdid it. Once you get up to around 9 or 10%, I kind of feel like the alcohol punches you in the throat rather than, you know, caresses the taste buds. Yeah, it just sort of hits the top of the throat with a slightly acrid effect, but all in all, I like it. Oh, what bouquet in a bottle. Outdoors in fine form tonight. So what I wanted to do tonight was practice making a tenon But I didn't get my crap together fast enough because of this crappy day. It's been a crappy day. I ain't gonna lie. Let's see if I can sort of salvage something here. This has been getting a lot of use lately. When I'm barbecuing, I put a little water on and have a tea. Finish up the barbecuing. Still got some tinder fungus. Little bit of tinder fungus, you say. The reason I want to practice doing tenon is because of this bench that I'm going to finish at some point. Robin and I are going to finish this bench, and I've never done like a tenon and whatevs. LT, the Thai beer is not bad. Good. Outdoor had a long day at work. Okay. Okay, so I'm not alone in feeling a little hard done by life tonight. What else? Don't want Jess. What's a live stream without a little feather sticking, right? That was close. That was what one calls a complacency error. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. I'm going to be sharpening this up right the hell now. My own fault. Don't drink and... Well, it wasn't even... I need my course first. Okay. Jaegerheim Farms is not going to be with us tonight. He just texted me. That's okay. I understand. Well, I wasn't planning to be doing a sharpening video tonight, but hey, every now and again you do something a little dumb, right? Remember last time I said, wait. Outdoor, no, it's not going to be a blind tenon. Just making sure you weren't making some sort of pun there. No, it's going to come right through, like for the legs. The long stretches are going to come right through, and the short ones. And I'm going to put wedges through, because I want the bench to be, I was going to say removable. I'm not doing great with the language skills either here tonight, guys. You know, to be a knockdown bench, so that when I finally get my garage done, I can just take it apart and move it out there. What I would like to have is the wedges going through the leg tenons to be in a really contrasty wood, like a walnut or something. But maybe not that big a contrast, maybe something a little lighter. Sarah's been saying Amadou out loud for the past week. Yeah. But LT, if I had dropped the CBL, then what? I mean, I had this one out because it's the one I opened my beers with. It's my beer opening. It's my bottle opener. That CBL's been getting a lot of business lately, though. Oh man, I really duffed this one. What you doing, man? What you doing breaking the knives? Breaking the knives. The leaves. Oh crap, I really beat the crap out of it. Do you see that? Doesn't really show up that well on camera, but... Concrete floor, eh? So, that answers the time-honored question of what wins, concrete or steel. I was looking at a review of another one of those pretty Hella knives today. One of their folders, not the one that I keep talking about, not the Daka, but another one starts with a B. Looked like a really good review. That knife's expensive though. That was like $230. Like, oh. $230. I mean, especially because that's north of 200 is where I don't get that Benchmade that I keep talking about, right? So no burp yet. I'm behaving. Where the hell's Simon? Where's Simon, guys? You guys hiding Simon somewhere? What's going on, man? Hope he's okay. Hey, did he do his live stream tonight? I should have checked in with him. Oh well. Yeah, I've been doing a lot. It's funny because when we decided finally to get this drainage problem dealt with, building my backyard fence has been waiting on that because the trench is going to go right under where I'm supposed to build the wall. The fence. And so I called up a guy. I said, let's get this going. So I called a guy on Kijiji, fully expecting it to be like, yeah, I'll come and take a look. I'm kind of busy. I'll see you in 2 weeks, kind of thing. It's like, okay, I'll be there in about 4 hours. So I rushed home from work. Of course, he was late as hell, but that doesn't, whatevs. He took a look and I said, okay, I'll be here Wednesday morning. I said, okay, this is faster than I was expecting. But I mean, what it means is I can finally get that damned fence out of my way. Can you see this epic amount of damage here? No, because it's too... I wish you could see it. I wish I could show you just how embarrassed I am right now. But look, everyone drops a knife. Those of you guys who are big followers of Black Owl Outdoors will remember when Crick put a knife through his foot while sharpening due to a complacency error. Now for him it worked out because he was on his arse for a long time, and so to keep himself from going crazy, he took up leather work. And now he's got himself a tidy little business doing leather work. So I guess all's well that ends well. Because, I mean, that guy knows what he's doing around a knife, Almost. Still just a little bit of dingage there. I'm just going to rinse this. I'll be right back. When I say I'll be right back, it's because the sink is right behind the camera. Which is useful when you're throwing knives at concrete floors. Okay, so Simon's going to be around. Okay, what was his live stream on tonight? I really wanted to see it, but suddenly we were in, warp factor 9 on the getting the damn backyard set up for this guy to come. Serge has seen my backyard. He knows I had a jungle gym all set up for the squirt. Well, not really a jungle gym, but one of those, play sets with like 2 swings and a slide and a little ladder to climb up. Had to get that all torn down. Stuff. It's a hard life, eh? It's a hard life with these first world problems. 2 years ago, even last year, I couldn't have even dreamed of throwing the money at solving our drainage problem. And even then, we're only doing it because we got a fabulous price. Because, everybody likes me and wants to make me happy. It's hard being as popular as I am, Just gonna wipe it off on my pantaloons. My shorts, actually. Oh, almost done. Yeah, I keep trying to show it to you guys, and it's just like, why are you doing this, Jess? But anyway, I'm going to take another sip of the beer. Simon's here. All right. I was just telling the boys why I missed your live stream tonight. I was just telling them that there's a guy coming tomorrow to dig up my yard, so I had to move all those damned paving stones and everything that are all over my yard. And that was unplanned work, shall we say. What was tonight's live stream on, Simo? I'm not going to say a thing until he's answered, okay? So if this is going to get really silent, blame Simo. Whoops. You know, the Scandi grind is definitely easier than other grinds to, than several other different grinds to sharpen, but you still kind of have to, there's still a bit of skill involved, you know? Oh, remember last time I said I might do a video on stropping? Well, I actually did half of one and then I scrapped it, but I'm gonna do one. What I wanted to say was, so I told my wife, I said, okay, if I build you this fence this weekend, next weekend I'm hitting the bush, okay? Or like whenever is the next free weekend. Which will be damn soon if I have anything to say about it, because I'm going crazy. Two microscopic little, you know, if you got a coarse stone and you put any pressure at all, it's not that hard to sharpen it. It's pretty quick. What I find really gets not confusing, but what really gets me is when it's sometimes getting the feel for like what your angle has to be. Because on Scandi, it's simple, right? Tuck. See that? But when you get to that curve, I sometimes have a hard time maintaining the proper angle. I guess this is why I'm not a knife maker. I would love, we've already said this, Jess, shut up. But at some point I'm going to finish that file knife that I started and I showed off to you guys, what, weeks ago now. That was when I got into a conversation with Outdoor about a knife that he had started to make. I think he was doing a rat tail though. Almost. Hey, Scott's here. How's it going, mister? Honey caramelly goodness. Knife sharpening goodness. It's all great. It's fabulous. We're having a great night. I haven't really had a hard day. For those of you who are just joining us, the reason why I'm sharpening instead of doing what I had planned to do is because I dropped this knife on my concrete floor on screen, almost burying it in my shin on the way down. That would have made me use some non-family friendly language. I will admit, that would have made me irate, to say the very least. I've lost track of, I've been trying to keep, count of how many times I'm doing on each side, and I realize I epically lost track on that last pass. But you guys know all about keeping count, don't you? LT, Outdoor, Simo. Speaking of which, this beer is not making me burp at all tonight. What's up with that? I hope it doesn't ruin your enjoyment of the live stream, guys. Getting better. Taking a sip. Uh-oh. Simo, Q&A, home Wi-Fi, new cheap knife. Oh, what knife? What knife did you talk about? Scott, you talking about this knife? Yeah, it's a more, it's the Companion heavy duty MG, which stands for military green, to those of us in the know. Military green. This knife is actually the knife that I use for doing my backyard bushcraft generally. But lately, since I've started the live streaming, I've been keeping it down here sort of as my official beer opening knife. I figure, you know, if it sort of becomes a fixture of the live stream, that'd be kind of cool. Oh man, almost. It's just, you know, those last few little divots are stubborn as hell. Scott, are you talking about the was it like the world's sharpest Mora? I haven't seen that one yet, but I am going to see it soon. He's good at sharpening, man, and I like. He makes me want to get my water stones out again. You know, I haven't done a lot of water stone sharpening of late, just because it's kind of high maintenance. I'll use water stones for plane blades, stuff like that. But like for these guys, I've just been using these little diamond plates. But and I'm getting to the point where I'm going to need to replace my water stone pretty soon. Just because, like, I keep it fairly flat. You know, I lap it regularly, but it's getting really thin now. Because I used to use it for everything from my knives to my axes. Hey, I just had an idea. Number one. Since Scott brought that up, and now I'm sort of, you know, knock-on effect, I'm thinking of other things. Do any of you guys have a sharpening, like, a YouTube sharpening video that really influenced you when you were back sort of developing your skills, or, you know, in your earlier days, you know, watching YouTubes or something? Because for me, I just remembered, it was an old video by Ben Orford. He was showing how to sharpen an axe, you know, with a great big Sharpie and a water stone. I just remembered that because I watched that video a lot, and I carbon copied his axe sharpening style for a long time before I got more into sandpaper for axes. I still really like watching Ben Orford videos. I like his on-screen presence. I like his skill. But I mean, he's not a bushcraft guy. He's a knife maker. He makes knives and axes and stuff. You know, he's a craftsman. I would like one of his knives. I have one of his Sloyd knives, the mini Sloyd knife that I showed you guys when I was chopping up the Amadou. Amadou, Serge. Amadou, do. Is that a song? Oh, no, it's Agadou. But yeah, that old Ben Orford video of him sharpening, you know, you lay it almost on the cheek of the, you know, and he just showed and took off all the ink from the sharpening. It's like, okay, that's how you know, and you keep track of. It was a great video. Scott, you're still talking about the Weeder fan one, eh? Uses wet sanding paper the whole sharpen. Yeah, I use wet sanding paper for anything convex. You purchased a Bosun pocket knife? What the hell's a Bosun's knife? Scott says Xanadu. You still talking about Wiederfans? What the hell's a Bosun's knife, guys? I know what a bosun is. You know, not all diamond stones or diamond plates are created equal. These ones are pretty good, but I've seen some that just go to pieces over like not a long period of time, you know? Getting there. Getting there. Oh, yeah, okay, it's one with the marlin spike on it. Okay. Is that for like undoing knots and stuff? I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Using my daughter's iPad. Boom, 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 boom. Bosun's knife. Boatswain. Oops. Boatswain. That's not really how you pronounce that word. Knife. A bosun's knife. Yeah. Okay, I know exactly what that is. Yeah. Those are also sometimes called a rigging knife. I know things. Simone is linking us to the one that he purchased. Except that it's... Oh, and this one's called a rigging knife. This one says currently unavailable. I guess you didn't buy it from there. Simone, what made you buy a rigging knife? What's the concept that you're testing? Because the thing about Simone is he'll buy a cheap-ass knife to test out some theory he's got going, and then buy a more expensive one if the theory holds. So I'm wondering what he's working on. Because like, what would you use the marlin spike for? I just realized that I'm asking questions and Is Turley? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hey, Waterman's Woods, what's up, by the way? Yeah. Is Turley, man. People who like his knives really like his knives. I've had a hard time just on the aesthetic, but I hear that they're like second to none. I think Joe Robinette uses one. But that guy, man, Is Turley clearly knows what he's doing. And I do, even though I don't love the aesthetic of his knives, I respect the uniqueness of his work. Like, you can't mistake an Turley for a Turley knife for anything else. That's for damn sure. You know, it's a real distinctive style. So Waterman's Woods, were you a member of Bushcraft USA then? Because I feel that most people who know about Is Turley sort of came across him on Bushcraft USA. Getting her back to living. Serge, not much. We were talking about Simon bought a new rigging knife, or a new bosun's knife. I asked him why, and he just told me. Okay. Fair enough. He's been installing shackles. I used to install shackles. Then she dumped me, so I had to get a different. Why did I go there? Why did I do that? Stupidness, right? It's terrible. Hey, you know who's bugging me these days? Scrambled O, man. Where the hell is he? Where the hell's Scrambled O? Everyone go over to Scrambled O's page and leave him a message. Say, yo, man, where the hell are you? Raindance is looking for you, man. You and his daughter used to watch you at at supper time. When my wife was away on business for whatever it was, 4 or 5 months, Cody and I would watch Scrambled O videos at supper time sometimes, depending. Like if we were having a good day, we got home, the homework was done while I was making supper, then we would watch a Scrambled O video with supper. Got to the point where if I said, folks, every single time she would say, Scrambled O, checking in. Those were good times. I mean, like, I would not trade having the missus home for those good times under any circumstances. But it, you know, the first couple of weeks we were both kind of running scared, but we got into a groove and we figured it out, you know. Funny, because in some ways my wife never came back in terms of how much. Like when she got back, she got kind of promoted, sorta. So like if anything, her hours, her hours have increased. So I thought I was gonna go back to sort of not being stressed about what time I left work, and that never happened. I'm still stressing about what time I leave work. Still rocketing it out 4:30, so just to make sure that I get to school by 6. Yeah, okay, Watermans, you've been on. Yeah, I used to be hanging out at Bushcraft USA all the time. I haven't been back in a long time. I had to quit hanging at the forums. I used to be like on a hunting forum, a couple of them actually. A couple of firearms forums, although I don't really do that anymore because I found the politics was a little more extreme than I like in some cases. I was on a couple of mountain biking forums. I was on the biggest bass players forum in the world. I was on Bushcraft USA and I think another I was on a couple of blade forums, and I realized that being on these forums was making me spend money because I would see all these great things and I would feel that I had to. It's the same, like I don't read mountain biking magazines anymore. I don't read bass playing magazines because it was turning me into this utter consumer whore. You know, I was just buying and buying and buying, and I don't need to replace my mountain bike. My mountain bike, my main one, I've got 2 of them. I've got like a trail bike and a cross-country bike. And my cross-country bike has been my bike since 2002 or 2004. I don't quite remember. But you know what? I've replaced every part on it practically. When I was reading all these magazines, I replaced the entire cockpit and everything with high-end stuff. But I don't ever have to spend money on that bike again except for, changing the tires, changing the brake pads. But these magazines and these forums had me feeling that I didn't have enough stuff, And so I had to know, especially bass playing forum. If I had never been on that forum, I would not have a $5,000 bass sitting in my room, because I don't play enough. I don't play enough to deserve that bass, and it took me 6 years to save up the $5,000. Right, I'm not moneyed by any stretch, and that bass does not make me more money than my $12,500 Fender. You know, so I haven't been on Bushcraft USA in a long time. Sometimes I miss it, but I don't have the time, you know. I mean, if I have time, I should be updating my blog. You know, the blog that I have as the companion to my YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't be trolling the classified section of online forums for things to spend my money on, because that's what ends up happening. You know, I should be working on my, I don't want to say my brand, because that makes it sound terrible, but you know, I should be working on Raindance Bushcraft, writing more blog entries, designing another t-shirt, getting those damned patches made. Now that I think I've decided on the final color. Maybe working on my Patreon to get it actually up and going. Because right now that's, you know, I made one video about it, but it's completely dormant. I'm not putting any effort into it, and it, you know, just because I don't feel like I deserve to have patrons yet. If I hit the forest with an axe and a pack of bacon, you know, a couple of times at least in the season, then I'll feel like I'm back to where this channel was supposed to be when I started it. But so long as I'm trying to just keep it going with a little, you know, chat in this little chunk of forest where I really can't light a fire, or no, it's not worth it to. I wouldn't patronize my channel either, you know. Mike's here. Mike Morton. Mr. Morton. Mike, look at what I'm drinking. It's a Scotch ale with notes of honey and caramel. What you got, man? I love finding out what Mike Morton is drinking, because everything he drinks is like, I gotta try that someday. Even if it's just to say, wow, that was really weird. He's a beneficiary of the Ontario microbrewery universe, which is, look, Quebec has a very healthy microbrewery culture as well. It's just it's much more European than the Ontario one. You know, Ontario and Alberta and BC are very much like New World microbrewery cultures, whereas Quebec is extremely old world. As you can see, Scotch ale, you know. Like, there are a couple of Quebec microbreweries opening up that are more sort of North American style. There's Farnham. There's Serge and LT, help me here. The one that makes the chippy. Archibald? Is that what it's called? Yeah, that's a much more North American style, you know. Oh, Mike! I said I was going to use a glass. Okay, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Shoot, I totally forgot. Sorry, dude. I promised Mike I would finally use a glass today. So I got a glass. Rock Art Brewery from Morrisville, Vermont. And I got a Whip It. Whip it real good. You can't eat too many of these. Archibald, yeah. Waterman's. Oh, is it? Okay, Bushcraft USA is very different now. Silly. Yeah, where did Outdoor Dauber go, man? He was just chatting with me. He was just chatting with us earlier. Yeah, I think I can take it to the finer grits now. I think I first have to go to green. No, first red and then green. Red and then green. I'm gonna rinse this blue off. Blau, red, but you know what the hell's a Whip It? Come on, man, you don't know Whip Its? Jeez, are Whip Its only... Mr. Mike Morton, do you know what a Whip It is? Is that like a Quebec thing or a Canadian thing? Whip Its are like, it's a cookie with marshmallow and then chocolate on top, like dipped. And I don't love marshmallow, generally, but I make an exception for Whip Its. Or des Whippets, as the rest of my family calls them, being good Quebecoises. A Whip It is a dog, yes, but they have a different name in Ontario? What? You're Mike, man. You're totally changing my worldview here. What the hell are they called in Ontario? Oh, and they're not available outside Canada? Oh, man. Okay, all you Americans, y'all come up to my place for a weekend and I will serve you Whip Its. And fine Quebec microbrew. If Mike Morton comes, I'll have him bring a 2-4 of something spectacular from Ontario. Don't show up at my place next weekend or anything. I'm putting that out there, but I mean, I don't... don't show up unannounced. My wife would go utterly nuts. It's been a rough week, guys. It's been a rough week. It's only Tuesday. Oh, crap. Oh, it's been a worse week than I thought. I like the zen of sharpening a knife. You know, I don't get the same zen thing from like doing like a plain iron or anything like that, you know? Hold on. Whoopie pies. Yeah, whoopie pies are not the same as Whip Its. Ah, Serge had poutine, says why. Good man. I can't eat poutine very often, man. I can't handle the poutine hangover. but when I do enjoy it. Okay, those of you who know, and by the way, for if you Americans have ever been to New York, when they brought the poutine to New York City, they changed the name to disco fries because you eat them at like 2 in the morning after coming out of a dance bar, apparently. But for those of you who know about the sacred Quebec food known as the poutine, are you guys classical poutine guys, or do you like it with all the fancy crap like Italian poutine and freaking truffles and garbage like that? Because to me, poutine happens the way nature intended. Fries, cheese curds, beef gravy, nothing else. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm expecting you guys to follow suit. If you like poutine with freaking meat sauce and that tomato freaking, start with a roux or something, that's fine, it's fine. It's okay. You're just as God made you, right? As they say. But I do contend that the classic is the one true poutine. Wait. Reese's and poutine? Whoa. Who's having Reese's and poutine? Let me some whoopie pies. I don't think I've had a whoopie pie. Outdoor loves poutine. Good man. Whippets were manufactured by Biscuit Vieux originally. Yeah, that's true. Dare was got it when they acquired Vieux. Yeah. Where I grew up, they're called gobs. Interesting. Okay. Oh, Scott, yeah, viande fumée. Now you're talking. Benny's barbecue chicken poutine is hard to beat. Okay. All right. I see that not everyone is convinced the absolute truth of my... Wow, this is getting... I'm doing good work. I'm doing good work here, guys. Outdoor was introduced to poutine at a little diner in Quebec. That's the best way, man. Little freaking diner. No milk, no bacon, no green peas. Yep, good man. Green peas, hell no. True. Shrimp poutine and matin. Well, I could see that, but no. Not for me. Ow! No, just kidding. Just trying to keep you guys on your toes. It was weird, right? Sorry, guys. Why do I do these things? Oh, you want to hear something cool? Bechamel sauce as gravy with a shrimp and fries. If anyone has a recipe for how to make sweet potato fries that are crispy instead of mushy, I'll take that recipe. Because I love me some sweet potato fries. Thing is, we've bred most of the damn nutrients out of the straight up potato. But sweet potatoes are still pretty damn good for you. And they're delectable. I don't know why I said it that way. And they're delectable. Like what? I'm talking about sweet potatoes, guy. Hey, guy. Yesterday, wow, man, this is like really stream of consciousness. Yesterday I was at Renault Depot, which is like a local, well, not that local, they're everywhere, but version of like a Home Depot or whatever. Except being Quebecois, it's all blue instead of orange. And I was at the cash, and at this Home Depot, no, this Renault Depot, there's this Haitian girl at the cash who is, in my humble opinion, not that I look or anything, but in my humble opinion, she's the bee's knees, dude. She's highly distracting. Anyways, I'm third in line. And the first guy in line, I don't know what his issue was, but he needed like a special version of his bill or some damn thing. And so she was like, okay, and she walked off to get him the large printout of his bill. And the two guys ahead of me watched her arse the entire way she walked. And then like tried to be really non-obvious, you know, when she was walking back. It was funny. I'm like, you know, these guys were both like way older than her. This girl was like 24, 22, you know, she was in college age, you know. These two guys, one of them was way past retirement. He was trying to chat her up a bit after the other guy had gone, you know. I was just thinking, you know, guys, she's pretty and all, but aren't we supposed to all be at past the schoolboy crush phase of our lives? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still have a schoolboy crush on Mila Kunis, but that's a Hollywood crush, so you can have that. That exists outside of the realm of possibility. Depressingly. But you know what I'm saying? These two guys just watching her butt as she walked away, and then being all like, when she came back. Where were we? Wait. I just realized that I'm like, I haven't looked at bechamel sauce is gravy with shrimp. Okay, right there. Hey, Anthony! What's up? How's Tennessee treating you? What's the temperature like down there? It is gorgeous up here right now, man. It was like, I don't know, it felt like it was 24 at one point today. Yeah, outdoor. Up here we call Canadian bacon back bacon. In the same way that English muffins in England are just called muffins, you know? And no, we're not waiting for Jesse to stab himself, because I ain't gonna do it. If I could drop this knife earlier and hit the ground instead of my shin or my foot, then I'm pretty confident in my skills right now. I'm actually getting a better finish on this with these diamond plates than I'm used to, because I usually just are, you know, like I very rarely put this much time and concentration into it, you know, because, you know, I want to do it right for you guys. We're not counting belches because I've only done one. It's a very low count. It's a good beer. Whoop. Ham is ham. Yep, ham is ham. But outdoor, you tried to cheer me on to Lights on Amadou last week, and I did you an entire video about it. So I think you got better than you asked for. Know what I'm saying? Anyways, I always put on a good show. Right now, I'm putting on a good show of not stabbing myself. Hello. Wouldn't it be funny if I totally cut myself now? Now that we've had this whole conversation, like Jesse goes and like, that wouldn't be funny actually. I would hate that. I'm not good with pain. It makes me break out in blood. What you guys will definitely notice is that I'm not doing the usual sharpening style, because these are so small that I just find it easier to go along the edge of the blade. I know it's non-ideal, but just with these little stones, I feel that it's the yeah, it's the best way with these little stones, because I just don't have the room to go dragging it across and then, you know. Do you guys remember that Ray Mears video where he was showing how to sharpen up that original woodlore knife? Because, you know, they're on what, their third knife company doing those now? But that original one, and part of his lesson was to take some of the slurry from your sharpening stone and like rub along here just to shine it up. And then what's his name, the knife maker of that original line of woodlore knives, what the hell was his name? Alan Wood? Alan someone? He said don't do that because you'll gradually grind away the maker's mark. I found that interesting. A rare show of attitude between two stars of their respective games. What I find interesting about the woodlore, aside from the fact that it's probably my favorite knife design of all time, is that it's amazing how often you have the original design of something and then the other people who copy the design make it fancier. Like, the original woodlore was not a really fancy knife. I mean, fabulous design, you know. Definitely as British as like the 303 round. I mean, it's just, there's no way that knife could have come out of the New World, you know. But, you know, no liners, no like mosaic pins, you know. You get to Jack Lore, and he's making these spectacular works of art, you know, which, by the way, aren't nearly as expensive as an original woodlore. Same is kind of true of the Fender bass. You know, I mean, well, although Fender itself has been doing a lot of work with the custom shop, but like for the longest time, Fender made these meat and potatoes basses, and then you had guys like, you know, Sadowski and Lakeland making fancy tops and spalt and maple, and well, you guys have seen my Fender clone, my Sadowski. I feel the same is kind of true of woodlore knives and woodlore clones. I'm just going to rinse this and switch to the green. Right back. How like the original maker comes up with a design and makes the design, and everyone who loves the design just wants to make it a little fancier. Stuff like that is compelling to me because it's not just people copying the original design to make a buck. It's people who clearly love the original design, right? People who have put work into this design is spectacular. Now let's make it fancy, you know? I always think pool temperature and it feels different. Excuse me. I find it interesting how so many people with pools talk in Fahrenheit. What is up with that? Because I don't know what the hell 75 degrees is. And the public pool sure as hell doesn't give the temperature in Fahrenheit. So what is going on with that? You guys with the pools, y'all just go on and tell me now. Because why would you say a pool temperature in Fahrenheit, especially when, like, let's face it, your kids probably don't know Fahrenheit from Shinola. And by the way, I don't even know what Shinola is. Because, like, even my wife's family, right? I mean, they're Francophone, okay? So you think they talk in Fahrenheit? Well, yeah, they sure as hell do when it comes to pools. I'm like, what is going on here? What are these foul magics? I say. And then you almost immediately have cause to regret that question. So yeah, what's up with 2.5? Well, yeah, talking to you from off camera because I was just trying to change it up a little bit. Trying to make it a little fancier, you know? Okay. Most pool thermoses are in Fahrenheit. That really bugs me. Because I don't know Fahrenheit. So it means I don't know if the pool is cool or hot. No! Don't ruin the edge you worked all night on, mister. Mister, don't you go ruining it. No way, man. Don't you go doing that. I'm practicing my Fahrenheit accent. Hey, has anyone seen Solo yet? Because that opened this weekend, last weekend, didn't it? Shinola is not east of Timbuktu, especially because I know where Timbuktu is. LT is obviously saying no, he hasn't seen Solo yet. I'm just making sure I actually know where Timbuktu is, because I think I do. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to be really embarrassed. Yes, it's in Mali. Yes. Okay, I was right. Mali, which right now is very dangerous for men with blue helmets. In fact, it is currently considered to be, I think, the most dangerous peacekeeping mission that the UN is doing because of our old friends in Al-Qaeda. What kind of world where we live in where ISIS makes Al-Qaeda sound like, you know, oh, okay, at least it's not ISIS. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Although I I have scratched the ever-loving crap out of the flats with that that coarse stone, but, you know. So no one's seen Solo yet, eh? I want to see it because, you know, Han Solo is my favorite Star Wars character, and to me everything comes back to the Millennium Falcon. Although I will definitely say that I sure as hell ain't loving what the design of the Millennium Falcon is for that movie. I don't know what made them do that, but anyway. I know what made them do that. Hasbro made them do something like that. Because these days, these movies are half movie, half toy advertisement, right? I mean, Solo wasn't even out yet, and Lego had the Solo Millennium Falcon available, which I will not be buying, for the record, because I hate it. I used to think that I'd like to have, like, to buy a small freighter and have it kind of like a Firefly thing where you're just doing small freight runs and essentially concentrate on, like, I don't know, pick a trouble spot, maybe someplace in Africa, coastal, and that I would do low cost shipping. Say this charity wanted to ship a bunch of bicycles to some African country or Malaysia or something. I don't know why I said Malaysia. I don't think. Anyways, and that I would do the job for nothing more than the price of fuel and, like, food, and just spend my time not trying to get rich on these delivery jobs, but taking delivery jobs that I felt paid in karma and then just sort of doing it as a subsistence thing. And a friend of mine had found an old Coast Guard ship that was for sale. Like, you know, not Coast Guard anymore, but would work as a small freighter. You know? It's the kind of conversation that first came out of a sort of a quasi-prepping conversation. Like, I have a friend who, when the shit finally does hit the fan, when the stuff finally does hit the fan, he's just gonna, let slip the mooring and sail off into the distance. You know, because he's got a sailboat, so he can even propel himself for free, so long as the wind is up, and the engine on it is electric instead of diesel. Oh yeah, it's getting good here, guys. It's getting good, man. It's getting good. Simone, yes, I know, and we'll talk about that off camera. I know all about Molly and helicopters. Outdoor. Oh, buddy forced you to watch Star Wars with him? What? What? So what did you think? Your response is key. 3 hours. It's not that long. Oh, you're saying it felt longer than it was. You're just a jerk, okay? If you don't love Star Wars, then you are just a jerk. I had to say that in my most millennial voice possible. Because it's the Millennium Falcon. Wow, this live stream is getting so live stream of consciousness. Sorry, guys. Paul Bukima sent me a photo today of from him like 4 years ago with a clean canteen sitting on a hammock chair, like the same clean canteen that I've got. Boom. 40 ounce, 1182 milliliters. Millimeters. Hello. I was working hard today, so I need to drink my water. My water. You know, it's funny because I think that the prequels, the Star Wars prequels should be stricken from canon. I think that I don't understand how Disney didn't strike them from canon, you know? There was such utter garbage. And here's the thing, you know, you start with Princess Amidala being this figure of power. Being this figure of power. I'm not even going to bother with excuse me anymore. I'm just, you know what? It happens, it happens. And then she turns into this, like, meek little thing. It's like, guys, by which I mean George. learn how to write women. You know? Same thing with Leia, man. First movie, that girl was like, she was something, right? Smart aleck, powerful. Second movie, starting to get just a little, not less so, but not quite as active. Like, she didn't shoot as many people. Actually, no, she kind of, yeah, no, second movie, you know, puts on a dress, lives with the Ewoks. Third movie, starts it off in a bikini. Strangles her owner, which is nice. But in the bikini, you know. At least she got to pick up a gun again at the end. But it's like, why do geek boys have to not get it when it comes to writing about women? And then, like, in the new movies, finally some interesting female characters, like, across the board. And, like, all the freaking, you know, Gamergate types go crazy. It's like, guys, kidding me? This is great. But, you know, getting better. Look at me. I'm all nice and stuff. 4? Are we at 4? Okay. Let's stick with halves, not minors and majors. That gets really, really too complicated. No, I'm not at 5. Come on, cut it out. Behave yourselves. Don't make me stop this live stream. No, don't make me turn this live stream around. Yeah. Hey, did you guys vote in the poll I put in the video I put up on Sunday? And by the way, nobody noticed that I actually hit Sunday for once instead of Monday. I was all proud of myself. I'm like, yes, I got it out on Sunday. But I hope you guys all participated in the poll. I'm trying to find ways to make, you know, the channel more interactive. Like, what I was going to do this night of nights was an actual Google Hangout instead of just a live stream. But I couldn't get my crap together in time, you know. It's tough doing them at 9 when, you know, there's getting the kid to bed. Well, getting the kid to swimming, back home, fed and to bed. That's part of the equation. Wow, you know what? I'm doing a great job here. You guys don't notice it because my camera's not good enough, but I'm doing a spectacular, fantabulous, fantastic job here. Sharpening up this knife. I've been listening to this podcast lately called The Story of English, The History of English. We're still sort of in the Germanic stage. So, you know, like just after Rome left Britain, and the Romanized Celts got essentially chased into Wales and Scotland by invading Angles, Saxons, Jutes, you know. So before the Danes arrived, but after the invasion of the Germanics, the Southern Germanics, you know, and just yesterday's episode, not yesterday's, I mean this, I'm listening to episodes from 2013 because I've just discovered this podcast, but I find that it's funny how when you get to English, the story of English, the more recent we get, the less I'm kind of interested. And it's funny that I'm in some ways the same with music. Like, I'm really into Baroque I love me some chamber music. Once you get into classical, my interest starts to wane a little bit, you know? And, you know, I like folk and I like Celtic and stuff, but, like, when it comes to big movements, like the big European movements, when, like, almost as soon as you switch from Baroque into classical, I just don't love the sounds as much. I'm very soundscape oriented, you know? Anyway, so with the story of English, like, I'm enchanted by all the Germanic phase and, you know, the parts of European history where the Celts and the Germanics are essentially fighting it out over Gaul and stuff. You know, of course, here come the Romans and split the place up the middle, but I don't know why I started this. There was a point I was going to make, but hold on, let me go back. Hamza's here. Hey, Hamza, I've been watching your videos lately. Man, I love that country you live. I love the visuals, man. So I would love to see it one day. Just because it's so different than anything I'm used to. Have any of you guys checked out Hamza's channel yet? Interesting stuff. And, like, it's funny because we tend to think of bushcraft as being, you know, the British. You know, you got your Raymiers and your well, Bear is more of a survivalist. You got your Americans, you got your Canadians, and you got, you know, maybe an Australian or two. But you don't tend to think, I mean, bushcraft is a worldwide phenomenon. Bushcraft is African tribes. It's Australian Aborigines and white guys, and, you know, here it's native and it's European and all this stuff. The skill set is transportable to anywhere, no matter where you live. The marketing is all like Raymiers, Lars Felt, I don't know, Morris Kohansky. I was gonna say Les Stroud, but he's more survival. But, like, you know, but the fact that the skill set is everywhere that someone lights a fire with an old method instead of a new one, you know, and, you know, is into knife skills and axe skills and or whatever, you know. Wait, what are we talking about? Anyways, so all I have to say, hi Hamza, I liked your channel. One does not belch in millimeters. One belches in, what would you use? Guys, really? BTUs, come on, really? Joules? Maybe joules, actually. Oh, Simone, yes, thanks for putting up Hamza's channel. Good. Yeah, guys, go and check him out. I think, man, I want more guys to see him. I subbed, and I have no regrets. Hey, guys, should I bring back my my shoutouts segments? I was going to, but I wasn't sure if anyone actually cared about them or, you know, actually checked out the channels that I used to shout out. What do you think? Should I be doing them again? I enjoy doing them. I always, like, if I discover a channel that I like, I want to share the channel, you know? And I know that you're not supposed to share channels that are bigger than you, so I always keep it to, like, young channels or, like, small channels. But what do you guys think? Yes, Serge is right. You do measure belches in decibels. What you guys think? What you guys think of my knife? You like my little knife? My little Mora, my companion heavy duty in military green. You like my little knife? I like my little knife. You like my other little knife? My, what is this? Mora Knieve Robust. You like my little Robust? Actually, I should probably be sharpening this up. No, that's pretty good. No, I gotta do some work on it. I'm not gonna do that tonight though. Scott, come on. Shrapnel collateral damage? They're not that bad. Are they? Are you guys all Mora users? Do all of you guys have at least one Mora in your toolbox? Because for me, the Mora is a massive change in my traditional philosophy. When I was on Bushcraft USA, I'm just scratching my back here, guys. When I was on Bushcraft USA, the fact that people kept talking about them as if they were kind of disposable put me off, because I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll probably bore you guys all to tears. I hate disposable culture. So the fact that people were saying, look, if you break it, you can just throw it away, really pissed me off. I was like, there's no way I'm buying a disposable knife. But the thing is, for the price, geez, you know? You just can't beat them. You really just can't. You really just can't beat them. I don't know where my paper towels went. So, I will do this. I gotta strop this. Oh, that's not very good. I think it's because I have to strop it. But like, I decided I had to know what the Mora love was all about. I was like, guys, I gotta figure this out because everyone's just talking so heavy about them. And ever since then, Mora's not gonna be my main knife unless maybe that Garberg, but even then I'm not sure. You know, I like my Australian woodlore clone. That's what I like. Because I like woodlores. If I had the money for a real woodlore, funny thing, I don't know if I'd buy a real woodlore. I would buy a jacklore at the shake of an excuse. I don't think I'd buy an actual woodlore. Like, I don't know why I would over a jacklore. Or maybe even an adventure swarm. But even then, what I want is a jacklore. You know? But all that to say that, like, to me, a Mora is always a backup knife. But I find myself when I'm just like around the shop or something, I reach for the Mora before I reach for anything else. And especially now that I've got like this one, and I've got that chisel knife around here somewhere. It's over there, I think. You know, like for the price, they're spectacular. The Garberg, I'm not sure about, and not because I don't think it's a fabulous knife, because it's a very good knife. It's, you know, you can't fault the knife. I'm having no problems with it. It feels good in the hand. It's like, but I think I don't buy the concept of $100 Mora because a $20 Mora is so damn good that for me it almost harms. I don't know why a Garberg is so expensive. I cannot believe that stick tang to full tang is an $80 difference between a $20 Mora and I mean, I know there's more to it. I'm simplifying massively here for the sake of the live stream. But you know what I'm saying? Like, because these Moras are so bloody well priced, I almost feel that the context is there for the Garberg to be an $80 knife. Canadian, I think it's whatever it is, like 90 or something in the States if you buy it on Amazon. But the Garberg does feel good in the hand. Hold on. Outdoor's got 3 Moras. LD has a companion and two clones. Sumo's got a bunch. I know Sumo's got some. Hamza, what are you using? Do you have a Mora? Or do you have something else? Because I don't remember if I've seen that on your channel. I haven't seen all your videos yet. I've seen a bunch of them, but I haven't seen them all yet. Outdoor would like to get a few more. Simo's got them everywhere. And that's the thing about Amora is you can have like one whatever in the kitchen and one in the garage and one in your gardening stuff and one right here and then like one as a backup in your backpack and then one in your fishing tackle or whatever, especially because they make different style knives for everything, right? What do you think, guys? Outdoor retracted a message. Damn you, sir. But I think you just said the same damn thing, didn't you? I borrow my brother's knives all the time. Actually don't own that many knives. You know, it's funny, Seth, because I always say that I'm not a knife collector. I'm not interested in having 300 knives. If I don't use a knife, I tend to move it along, you know? But that's... Like, I looked at my knives, and I'm sort of slowly amassing knives. Like, I've got that pocket knife that LT gave me, which I think is fabulous, and is upstairs right now. And that's kind of like my EDC knife now, especially since I don't know where my Leatherman went again. But that knife makes me think that maybe I'll retire if I ever find the Leatherman again. I'll retire it to my photography bag so I can use the screwdriver for undoing the ball heads and stuff, and use the knife. You know, you always need tools in a photography bag. And I'll just keep the pocket knife as my pocket tool, you know? I've used it for all kinds of things, and it hasn't choked on anything yet. I'm still dreading trying to sharpen that pocket knife though, because as I said, I have no experience with anything with a micro bevel, you know? Outdoor's going to be looking at R. Murphy's other knives too. I saw one other R. Murphy design online. And of course now Outdoor is going to show off the American Access. That frustrates me to no end, guys, because like, you know, Outdoor will show me like a link to an eBay knife that's a stonking good price, and then by the time I work in getting it across the border, it's like it's $100 or more, you know. So that it's no longer a stonking good price. It's just, you know, the normal price. This summer I'm going to get on that. This summer I'm going to solve my border issues. I'm going to set up an American address, or I'm going to start ordering stuff and having it sent to UPS in Plattsburgh or something, but I'm going to fix this problem. Because sometimes I'll look something up on Amazon.com, and then I'll look it up on Amazon.ca, and the difference in price is awful. If Amazon.ca gave me even just like the American price and then the exchange on certain things, I would have my 1 by whatever it is knife making sander, my cheapo one by now, because it wouldn't have cost like 3 times as much in Canada, kind of thing, you know. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being punished on the, let's face it, look, this is consumer hoary and it's first world problem, and I know, but I'm tired of being charged that much extra because the population lottery made me, you know, pop out of a Canadian woman instead of an American one. Especially because on the whole, I don't want to trade in my citizenship for anything. I'm very happy with where I live. I think it's the best country in the world. I expect the Americans out there to feel the same way about theirs. That's legit. To me, I'm happy to have been born Canuck. So I'm not looking to move just so I can buy a cheaper grinder or anything. But I'm so tired of the economies of scale not working out for me. But that's what it is, right? There's only like, what, 35 million Canadians. that makes us precious and beautiful, but it also means that it's not, we can't partake in the kind of economies of scale that makes something really cheap in just New York City, right? You know, 8 million people just in New York City, 8 million people in all of Quebec. So, you know, of course you buy something on Manhattan, it's going to cost less than if you buy it in Montreal or Toronto even, because Toronto is big, but it ain't American big, you know? We're too small to get the kind of pricing that our American friends enjoy. And that's the thing, you know, once you can get the numbers going, you can, you know, you have a certain amount of bargaining power when it comes to pricing stuff. It ain't mirror, but it ain't bad. Outdoor, I haven't ordered it yet because it's just like, oh, you know. Wait, hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back a little bit here, guys. Did Hamza tell me what kind of knife he uses? Other knives, frustrates me for you. Thanks, man. Stainless steel more knives are so handy. I consider them more tool than knives. The thing is, that's the thing. The thing is, that's the thing. What? The thing is, you can kind of see them as that. Just it's a tool more than it's necessarily a bushcraft knife. You know, you can have a house full of Moras because they cost nothing, and you can just use them for all kinds of things. You know, a U.S. PO box, yeah, something like that, maybe. Yeah, LT, I know. It's just population is the big one. Population is the starting point. If it wasn't for the population issue, they'd have a harder time jacking the prices on the other points, right? It frustrates me. It bugs me because it bugs me. Something, you know, and other things that bug me are just like sometimes the shipping on something, like the shipping charge before it gets across the border, before anything, you know, the international shipping on something costs a mint. You know, I ran into that with trying to order stuff from Townsend's, although I sort of checked on a whim recently and they seem to have improved their international shipping prices, but it's just like, frustrates me. I don't like it. Especially because, you know, one of the beauties of being Canadian is something will take 3 weeks longer to get to me than it will to get to someone in London. I mean England, not Ontario. You know? Because our border peeps are so, you know. Uh-oh, Outdoor's got a picture to send me. Alright, send it over. Simon worked with a guy from Harrisburg, PA over the last few... Yeah, I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine. Alright, Outdoor, what are you sending me? Are you sending it through email? Or are you sending it through Texto? And is this a picture I can show? Oh, now he's like, be right back. Okay, way to taunt me and then walk. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's great. It's just fabulous. I can't get my shoe out of it. Okay, we're good. What time are we at? Okay, 22:37. Okay. How many people we got? We're up to 10. Yeah, this Zen thing about sharpening is definitely attractive. What do you guys think? Looking pretty good, right? Little more Kneve carbon action. Carbon steel. Yes, carbon steel. Made in Sweden. More Kneve. That's a pretty iconic look, eh? It ain't expensive, but every bushcrafter worth his salt recognizes that shape. You could show this in like silhouette, and people will say, that's a Mora. Guys who are really good at this would say, oh, that's a companion. And the reason it's the companion, I think it's called heavy duty, is because of that. Look at how thick that is. Hey, I wonder how thick the robust is. Yeah, they're the same. They're the same. Hold on, there we go. Actually, I don't think they're the same. That robust looks just a little slimmer. Like a half millimeter slimmer or something. Oh, whoa, Anthony, what are you talking about Friday morning? What are you getting surgery for? No, Anthony, man, you don't walk off without, you don't drop a bombshell like that. If he's still here, oh no, he's already gone. We went from 10 to 9. Everyone think of Anthony. What? Okay. Oh, a herniated disc. Oh shit, dude. I mean, shoot, dude. Okay. In that case, go with all my hopes. Oh, what a drag. All right, have a good night, man. I hope it goes well on Friday. I am currently looking for the photos by Mr. Outdoor Dobber. You know, oh, there he goes. There he goes. Wait a minute, what is that? It's not a Mora. Is that like an old hickory? Primble hickory. Dude, is that the knife you made? Oh, those are 2 of the 3 Moras you have. Okay, that photo hasn't come in yet. Here's what I sometimes do. I got my green. I take my knife. I go puck. And I do this. Because the thing is, this stuff cuts metal, right? It's a polisher rather than a grinder. But it does cut metal. And because as I have been shining tonight, or scratching, let's face it, I've been getting all kinds of scratches on the flats. So what I do is, I lay it right flat on. Boom, baby. And I'm not doing the bevel. I'm just doing the flats in like a circular motion, or I'll go back and forth. And sometimes it just cleans it up just enough. Just enough to make it presentable. It doesn't bring it to a high gloss. Actually, it totally does bring it to a high gloss. I have used this on axes before to beautiful effect. It does take a long time though. So on knives, I just sort of clean it up a little bit, make it look presentable. Almost there. Even on knives, it takes a long time. But like if I'm just trying to clean up some minor scratches, all right? Bastardize into a cap heart. You remember what I said about cap hearts, eh? You know, guys, if ever you want to see a happy camper, if I ever get a nice cap heart, I'm gonna be smiling from ear to ear. I want a nice cap heart. I want a nice the schmutz on the back of my strop has been making all kinds of marks on the untreated wood of the workbench I've been building. I didn't want it to get marked up until I'd at least oiled it, so I shall. Nice thing about a paddle strap. But yeah, I would love to get a nice Kephart and a nice Nessmuk. And I definitely want to put together a Nessmuk trio. I've got the double-headed axe for it. I just want to get, and I've got a mini Nessmuk. Outdoor was saying, just use your mini Nessmuk and get a cheap, like, pocket knife, like a little penny knife, pen knife. Because I'd like to do a video using a Nessmuk trio, like walking into the woods, and those are my woods tools. Maybe even not a saw. You know, the woods tools I have are the Nessmuk trio, the pen knife, the belt knife, and the double-headed axe. Oh, I look good here, guys. It's hard to be as good at this as I am, you know. It really is. Good thing I've got such an ego. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me see. What did I miss? Hold on. Oh, Hamza only uses his homemade knife. Okay, yeah, man. That's cool. Respect, man. Respect. The Companion HD and the Robust are two of the three I own. The old Hickory is one I turned tortured into a rough Kephart design. Yeah, I get it now. Simon only strops a knife edge, otherwise you use a cotton wheel. Yeah, but you've got a grinder I don't have. You got a bench grinder, right? Oh, you made that cutting board too? Nice work, dude. Simon, Hamza, do you speak French? Oh, you know, I never thought to ask that. Do you speak French, Hamza? Un peu. Outdoor, man, I want to order that Jeff White off of eBay. I want it. Oh, man, I really, really do. It's so frustrating how it turns from a $55 US knife to 100 and something Canadian just to get it here. It's so frustrating because it's like, I want it. And what I like about the Jeff White, the Jeff Wife, what I like about the Jeff White knives is that they're just so basic, so damned basic, and that feels old school to me. It feels like if you made a knife 120 years ago, it would be a Jeff White. It wouldn't be a Jack Lore or an Adventure Sworn or even a, you know, like whoever made the original wood lore, or even a Tracker, right? It would be a Jeff White. That's how fancy they got. They were basic, you know? So I like the old schoolness of it. I would like to have the guts to do an entire bush weekend using only old school, like Mountain Man or Voyageur tools. That'd be cool. But you know, like it's been so long since I've actually gotten my ass into the woods that I don't know if I could do half the stuff that I would love to do anymore. And it's funny because getting into the woods used to be the way I dealt with my life. It was cheaper than therapy, you know, as the meme goes. And now it's been so long since I've gotten the chance to spend any meaningful woods time. I don't know how many skills I've lost. Don't hate it because it's beautiful. This side's not quite as good. I don't know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, yeah, it's good, good. Please note, no cuts. Let me take a look. Bum, 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 bum. You have 2 bench grinders. Yeah, I don't have any. Curly maple with cherry accent and pins. Hell yeah. Mastercraft. That is homemade. Unstoppable. Meet pot. Oh, good night, LT. See you next week. See how she's talking to me? The polisher, it's my strop with green compound on it. I just like to, when I'm finished sharpening, because green compound does cut metal, after I'm finished like stropping, I like to do the flats just to shine them up a little bit, because it's like a really, really uber, super spectacularly fine sandpaper. Like, you'll never find a sandpaper as fine as this stuff. So it just like clears up some of the scratches you end up with from sharpening, you know? Like this knife, you can see it's not quite as glossy as the other one, but if I sat here for like 10 minutes going like this, it would gloss it right up, you know? Actually, I've got to do some work on this bevel. Yuck, where'd that come from? See that right there? What the hell? What the hell? I'm just gonna see if maybe I can just strop it out. You know, the thing is, stropping much, contrary to popular belief, stropping does not replace sharpening. What stropping does is realign, unless I'm completely wrong, which has happened at least once in my life. But stropping, it's more of a kind of a buffing thing, you know. It sort of straightens up the metal fibers on the edge, puts them, back in alignment. It's not a replacement of, sharpening stones. Some guys get away. Here's the thing: you can get away with just stropping for a long time before you actually have to sharpen, but eventually you're gonna have to actually sharpen, you know. Excuse me a second. Which is which here? Red is fine. I'll do a little bit on the fine, and then I'll go to the extra fine, and then we'll sort of clean this up. Because this knife is sharper than the other one was, because I don't use it quite as often. It's a really different blade shape. The Robust has a spectacularly different blade shape. It's shorter. It's a little more. It almost looks more like a Puko, you know. No, that goes in there. That goes in there. Newspaper is uber fine sandpaper. Yeah, I used to know a guy who stropped on newsprint. In fact, that's a good point. You can also use denim. Obviously, you can use the inside of a leather belt. Obviously. I've used denim before. I made the mistake of, because you can also like strop like a safety razor, right? I mean, obviously you do strop a straight razor, which is what I use to do the shaving. But you can also, strop a safety razor. But there's a technique to it, which evidently I don't have, because I really blew the edge on my safety razor. So I'm just gonna have to replace that blade. But I would like to learn how to position the strop for a safety razor. Looking good. It's really tough to sharpen right into the corner there. You know, really, really tough, I find. Hamza, yep. I use pâte fine pour esticage de voiture for polishing your knives. I sort of know, like, I don't know the exact words for it in English, but I know what you're talking about. And yeah, I've heard that too. I used to know someone who did that, just put on some wood, you know? Stropping can be done with almost anything, I feel, you know? You can sharpen, like as Outdoor was saying, you can use the bottom of a coffee mug to sharpen your knife in a pinch. You can use the edge of a car window, right? You can just pick up a rock in a stream and start grinding away at your knife, you know? There's all kinds of ways to do this. You don't need like $100 water stone. The thing is, stones and plates, like diamond plates and all that, you do get a degree of sharpening that, say, our ancestors never got. I get that. I get that. But, like, especially when it comes to my bush axes, I don't want them shaving sharp. You know? To me, if, you know, shaving sharp is for a carving axe, that's the only axe I want shaving sharp. Because I don't shave with my axes. And I want the edge to be more robust than a shaving sharp edge will give me. I've already talked about this, though, to you guys. I don't want to bore you guys by bringing the same crap up every single time we get together, you know? Red is done. Now I turn to green. Car polishes, car polish compound, yeah. Whoops. Because the thing is, I mean, it works, car polish compound works essentially the same way. It's all about grinding very, very finely at the metal. You know, a friend of mine and I once had, was it La Pavone? La Cimbali. Espresso machines, you know, the piston espresso machines, like from the 50s or the 60s or some damn shit. We had two of them. They were made for, strangely, the North African market. They were from, I think, Tunisia, or it was a French-speaking North African country. So it was like either Tunisia or like Morocco. Or anyway, when we got them, they were in terrible condition, and we sharp, you know, they had these big stainless steel cylinders on them, which, well, were the boilers, essentially. And I had never shined up a piece of metal before, but my friend who had the other La Cimbali had. And we just started with sandpaper. I was like, what do you mean sandpaper? It grinds, it scratches. And he's like, trust me on this one, homeboy. And we went from, you know, a very typical, like a 400 or 280 or some damn stuff, wet and dried, up to like a 3,000, and I could not believe. Look, it took us a while, okay? We spent a couple of Saturday afternoons with the Discovery Channel on in the background, shining up these boilers, but man, they were so glossy by the end. They were mirror finish, you know? We did good work. But, unfortunately, on the inside, the boilers were way too wrecked over time to not explode under the pressure of actually boiling. So, we didn't do it. Yeah, I did shave with an axe once. Only once, though. Only once. And that one wasn't quite shaving sharp. I could do it better now with some of my axes, like my carving axe and stuff, but shaving with an axe is dumb. I did it. I was a dumb, I had a new camera. I'm like, I'm going to shoot videos. What am I going to shoot tonight? Oh, I know what I'm going to shoot tonight. I'm going to shoot myself shaving with an axe. It's stupid. Especially because it's dangerous for nothing. That's shaving with an axe isn't shaving. It's turning yourself into a conversation piece, Look at how short that blade is. This is like a Mike Morton style sized blade. It's got to be like 3.5 inches. I'm saying inches for you Americans. Simon used a homemade MDF disc on his grinder for polishing at one point. You're not the only person to do that. I've heard of a couple of different people doing that. I hear it's really good. I don't see why you wouldn't. If you can pull it off. But shaving with an axe was entertaining. Yes, Sash, it sure was. Especially because I didn't get it sharp enough. I was very new to. I had that axe for a very short amount of time. I was new to having a good axe. I was new to having a good camera. Like today, I would sharpen the hell out of that axe a whole lot more. Because even then, I had to finish that. I had to finish up with my straight razor, Well, that's shaving sharp. Sorry, guys. I had to finish up with my straight razor because it wasn't quite good enough. Want to hear something cool? Outdoor, funny guy. Simon, you'd like to get a paper lapping disc too? Yeah, me too. But I would like to get a bench grinder to put it on. So here's the cool thing. So my daughter is going to be turning 7 on the 1st of August, okay? And my wife has given me permission because we're doing 2 camping trips this summer. One en famille and one just me and Cody. The one en famille is going to be whatever, I think it's 5 or 6 days out in the Charlevoix region. Or the Saguenay or some damn shit. Hamza, you want a recommendation for good axe brand? It's funny because I don't know what you have access to out there. If you were sitting in Canada, I would be able to give you a couple of different suggestions. I used to always say buy a Grants Frisbrook, but the prices are just way too high. I feel that Halt Brooks are good. I feel that Husqvarnas are good. If you made yourself a knife, you're not afraid of doing some work to sharpen up an axe and make it really good. I hear fantabulous things about Council Tool, which are made in the States. They're not a Swedish company. They're an American company. I don't know, what do you have access to out there? Is there an Amazon for North Africa? Can you just order a bunch of things on Amazon? Or do you have to go to an actual shop? Because I hear Council Tools are great. I hear Snow and Neely are becoming good again. what do you have out there? Especially, there's a lot of really cool Italian axes, right? Like there's a lot of really cool German stuff, Italian stuff. You may have an easier time finding European axes than like Council Tool or something like that, or Snow and Neely. How's it? Do you have an aunt in Sweden? Anything Swedish. Have her send you anything. If she can find a Wetterlings, fabulous, because the brand has been discontinued. And your other aunt is in Italy? There's a lot of really cool Italian axes too. Check out the Wrangler Star Bushcraft channel, YouTube channel, because he got a bunch of Italian axes. I don't remember what they were called. I don't remember the name of the video, but it was like last year. He got a bunch of these European axes. I think they were Italian. And he seemed to like them pretty well. And they didn't sound like they were too expensive. The way like a Grand's Furs can be really expensive. You know? Ignore Simo. He's right about Walters, but they don't... If you buy Walters, you have to do the work to bring it back up, you know, to make it live again. Because Walters are not made anymore. But he's right, they are something special. I have a few Walters, and I love them dearly. In fact, I have a few Walters right behind me, and I love them dearly. Like on the wall behind me. Just taking a look. Hamza, what are there any like bush tools that are native to North Africa that like, because you know how some people in like Florida or tropical countries don't have axes, they have like machetes because it makes more, like if you're in the jungle, a machete makes more sense than an axe, you know. But like in Australia they make axes, you know, even though it's a very desert, like it's not all, but a lot of Australia is very deserty and stuff. Is there a special kind of tool that you use in the kind of country like yours? Because I would love to know. From here you cannot buy anything from the internet because you cannot pay. Really? Huh. But if you have an aunt in Sweden, tell her to send you a nice... Here, look, here's a good... Well, the thing is, I don't know what kind of countryside you're in, but... This is the most famous bushcraft axe made. This is the Gränsfors Brooks, a small forest axe, okay? It's a 19-inch handle. Okay, 19, oh piss. Right, 19 inches, okay? Otherwise known as 49 centimeters, is it 49? So it's a 49 centimeter handle, okay? This, around here in Canada, okay, in the mixed broadleaf forest where I live, is an amazing camp axe, okay? It's good for chopping down small trees, limbing, you know, taking branches off, splitting wood, doing all your typical camp chores. Okay, now, if you want to move up to heavier duty, this is the Scandinavian forest axe, okay? There you're chopping down trees up to about there, I guess. Okay, this is what, a 24 inch? It's weird, like I'm getting used to saying inches because I know so many Americans now because of my YouTube channel. 25.5 inches. Okay, so 64 centimeters. This, I think, is a better size all around, but carrying it is way worse than carrying this. 25 inches to 64 centimeters to whatever I said, 48 or whatever. Doesn't sound that big. It's a massive change. It's a massive, massive difference. Carrying around, you're walking into the woods, bring this. If you're driving up to your campsite and you're just going to stop, bring this. Hatchets are also very good if you're doing kindling, right? Just a small. What are we looking at here? 15 inches, 38 centimeters. It's a great little size for very small camp chores. You're not going to do a lot of heavy duty work with it, but you will definitely be able to do some like really small, you know, chopping up little kindling or you know, small pieces of wood, you know. Where am I? Whoops. Hamza, you have access, but the quality is, oh, it's not good? Okay. Now, Hamza, how are you about like buying an old axe and restoring it, doing some work, like maybe put a new handle on it or whatever? Because a lot of people say, look, buy an old axe head, put your own handle on it, you know, because that's a good way to affordably getting a really good axe. And they're right. It's just, I'm never comfortable saying that to someone until I know that they're, like, for my first axe, I did not build my own. You know, I did not rehandle my own axe for a while. I had to build up the skills. But if you're comfortable getting a handle or carving a handle or buying a whatever and putting it on an axe, that's a really good way to get a really good piece of metal, because you can buy it on eBay or whatever. Well, you probably have some trouble, but you know, if you can source an old axe head, put it on a handle, it's a really good way to do it if you have the skills and if you have access to a good axe head. Do I have one here that I rehandled? I'm cheating, but this one I rehandled. This is a Walters because they're beautiful. This was the original handle, but I took it off. I took all the paint off and I stuck it back on. It's good and solid. This is a really good axe. This is a really good axe. But when I got it, it was like rust. Rust you don't have to worry about because rust comes off with, you know, if you use like a wire brush. The handle I thought I was going to lose, but when I popped the head off, it was in way better condition than I thought. So I put it back on. This is still my best restore, I think. Oh, guys, it's It's 11:12. All right, I will speak for 3 more minutes, then I'm cutting it down. Then I'm cutting it off, okay? But Hamza, yeah, there's all kinds of ways you can... But if you got an aunt in Sweden, tell her to send you something. Like a 19-inch axe. It's a perfect all-around axe that you can carry. They're expensive. Don't ask her to send it to you for free, because Swedish axes do cost. Or try to look up that Wrangler Star video for those Italian axes. They're very different. Okay, they're really different than I'm used to, because what I'm used to is these Scandinavian or American axes. But he seemed to like them a lot. And Wrangler Star really knows axes, so if he likes an axe, that's you know, a good indicator. Aside from that, I don't know. I don't know what you have access to, you know? I would love to see a Tunisian-made axe. Your research, that's the plan. Yeah, okay. So we still have to restore. Yeah, I know. We got to do that this summer. I got to get this fence built first, because every time I do something for me at the weekend, it's like I should have built that freaking fence. And because we've been waiting to get the yard dug out and the dry well and everything put in before I can put the fence up, because of where the trench is going to be, we've been stopped. Now that all that's being done tomorrow, hopefully this weekend I can put up the freaking fence, and then suddenly my entire summer changes. Suddenly I'm not looking at wasting an entire summer again. You know, so maybe we can do that axe this summer. Water, nectar of the gods, bringer of life. 1 more minute, guys. Well, Simon, I'm doing the fence. Hopefully this Saturday I'm going to go buy my wood and start putting it up. That's my plan. That's my plan. So, I don't know if you, you know. I don't ignore you guys. I just start to talk, especially because, you know, Hamza brought up the axes, and because I'm so transported whenever I see his videos. I'm like, what size axe would you use for that kind of countryside? Because the axe really depends on where you are in some ways. Like these nice Scandinavian ones are pretty generalist. You can use them on hardwoods or softwoods as long as they're kind of greenish, I guess, or no, standing wood or standing dead or whatever. But like I find a lot of Australian axes are really different looking. You know, they got a really distinct kind of wood in Australia. And so like I wonder what kind of wood you have in Tunisia. You know? Is there cedar there? You know, because I know that there's cedar in some parts of the Middle East. But I know the Middle East is not North Africa, you know? So like what do you have? What kind of trees are you working with? Outdoor would love to help, but he's in Pennsylvania. Dude, just jump in your car. I'll pay you in beer and steak. Oh, okay, it's 23:16. All right, guys. I have got to go to bed because I got to be up early. Thanks for coming and hanging out again. I really like doing these little chats. These little fireside chats. Maybe I should change the name from Beer Blades and Bushcraft to Fireside Chats. Very presidential. Not really going to do that. But anyways, I'm out of here. I'll speak to you guys later. I'll try to get a video done this weekend if I can fit it in. Blah, 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 blah. If you like it, chat, share, subscribe, hit the bell, smiley thumb. If you don't like it, frowny thumb. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.